Hello and welcome back. Like I said, I'd try to post. I will try to post an iidadeku. So I will post chapter 1. I'll probably post both videos at the same time. Other than that, I'm redoing texting stories. Let me know what you want. I'm not making this intro too long like I did the last one, and I will be saving videos, so hopefully I can post every Tuesday and Saturday like I said I would, but I don't. I am sorry. Okay, let's get started. Study date. It was a pretty normal day of school for Tenya Ida. Oh, wait. I forgot to... 15. Iidadeku. By this lovely person right here. Okay? We all good? Okay. It was a pretty normal day of school for Tenya Ida. As of the moment, the class representative was so caught up with everything that he was actually ahead. Then again, that wasn't a huge surprise, as Ida was the most outwardly attractive student in the class. He made sure student in the class. He made sure to get every word down, extract every bit of information he liked learning. Ida was deep in a book when a poke at his side nearly scared him out of his shoes. Looking up from where he sat, he gave a warm smile to Izuku Midoriya, his friend and classmate. He waved his hand, closed the book after making it, and sat back. "You okay, Midoriya? Is there something I can help you with?" Midoriya had exhaled a bit, his red shoes shuffling on the tiles as he spoke. Yes, actually. I'm falling behind in class, and I was wondering if you could help me. I understand if you're too busy, too. Midoriya gave a bashful grin, a scared hand shaking up and running through his green curls. Ida had paused for a moment. "Of course I'd be willing to help," he said, a small smile growing on his face. "I have a lot more free time on my hands than you would think, Midoriya. Would it be okay if I went over to your house to help? My parents will be having guests over today and asked me to find a friend to hang out with for a while anyway, if that's all right with you and your parents, of course." Ida added the last sentence quickly, not wanting to intrude upon the Midoriya household. "Oh yeah, definitely. I'm sure my mom would be happy to see me hanging out with someone, actually." Midoriya grinned, freckled cheeks puffing a tad as he leaned a little closer to Ida. "Would you like to walk there together after school?" Midoriya's head tilted ever so slightly as he asked the question, and hair fell over his forehead. I think it'd be fun. We could grab some snacks on our way, too." The shorter male piped excitedly, babbling a bit as he usually did. Midoriya's signature grin was on his face as he spoke to Ida. A hot flush rose along Ida's neck, and he did his best to stop it. He gulped, pushing up his glasses. "Yeah, that wouldn't sound so bad at all." Ida grabbed his books and stood up. I'll have to get my book bag, but I'm back. I'm good to go once the bell rings, which should be any minute now. Ida currently hadn't missed the comment Izuku had made about his mom being happy he's with a friend for once. That made him sad, thinking more in depth about it. However, that was a conversation for a different time. Midoriya gave a nod and a small wave as he went back to his own desk. He gathered his belongings and found himself somehow smiling wider than he usually did. As the freckled male put his things in his bag, he blinked in his realization. Midoriya now knew why he was grinning so much. Ida was going to be at his house with just him. No one else. Not Ochaka, not Ichiro, just him. The thought rang unhappily in his head, and a small blush dusted beside his freckles as he slung his bag over his shoulders. When the bell finally rang, the day was over. Ida had already packed up his things. He slung the bag over his shoulder and waited outside the door for Midoriya, giving him a smile and fell in step with him as they headed for the school gates. So, what exactly have you been struggling with? Any specific subject in general, or just part of the school that's difficult? Ida asked, getting ready to figure out exactly how to help Midoriya. It was hard to believe that such a good student struggled, but even Ida had his moments where things didn't exactly make sense in the textbooks. As they walked, Midoriya kept his gaze on his feet. I'm struggling some of the basic stuff, but it's more of a part of the school I'm struggling with. He began to soft sighs slipping past his lips. I feel like no matter what I do, it's not good enough. When I was able to get a handle on my power during our assessment on the first day and throw the softball, that was a huge thing for me. I was so happy and proud I was able to do it, but I feel like it wasn't enough for Aizawa. When I tried to save All Might when we got attacked by the villain league, the only one who really cared was All Might himself. I was so scared in the moment, but I tried to overcome it and help. I feel like he's really the only one who sees just how hard I'm really trying. The words all came tumbling out, the boy who was venting before he knew it. He couldn't stop his lips from moving, and part of him didn't want to hide his feelings anymore. It was nice to let it out. Ida slowed down and eventually got to a stop. He stayed there and listened to Midoriya, and his heart ached. Midoriya? Ida slowly crouched down so he was level with Midoriya. I see it, he said quietly. How much effort you put into everything. You always go and do things absolutely best. You never give less than 100%. Anyone who didn't see that would be blind. Aizawa sees that. I know he does. Knowing his reputation, if he didn't see potential in us, we'd have been expelled long time ago. Ida gave him a smile, stood back up, and put a hand on his shoulder. We all see you, Midoriya. I promise. Do you? Midoriya spoke softly behind his lip when he looked up at Ida. Do you really? His chest felt lighter, and hearing Ida's reassuring caused his face to light up, even just a little. I'm happy that you do. Well, I mean, all of you do, he said quickly, looking away hurriedly. I mean, geez, I know it's probably silly I feel that way, but it does make me feel better to know that I am seen. This has been nagging at me for a while now, if I'm honest. His voice fell into a quiet murmur, and he gave Ida the appreciative smile. Thank you. Midoriya took the taller boy's hand in a brief moment after this rambling cat stopped. Thank you for seeing me. Ida felt his cheeks start to burn red, just the smile he gave, and how much such small words of reassurance gave Midoriya so much hope. Ida laughed a bit and shook his head, eyes locked on Midoriya's own. You don't need to thank me for everything, Midoriya. It's you who makes yourself seen. He couldn't help but feel his heart skip a few beats. The smile, the laugh, the rambling that never ceased to end of excitement. All of it had Ida reeling by the time they got to Midoriya's apartment. Okay, that is it for this one. And I hope you all liked it. Thank you very much for listening, watching. I don't know. Your choice. Anyways, see y'all next time. Again, I can't seem to say my own outro, so see ya.
Is that it?
Sorry if there were any background noises. Okay, now see ya.